everybody, Earl at thelogbook.com, back for more Voyages of Shelf Discovery, and got something kind of interesting to open here. This is the 4K Blu-ray release of Doctor Who and the Daleks, which is the 1965 feature film starring Peter Cushing as Doctor Who, not the Doctor. The Doctor is strictly reserved for television. Doctor Who is who he was in the movies. And, of course, by now I'm sure everyone knows, most Doctor Who fans set these off to one side in the show's lore. However, there is a place for it, and I will get to that in just a moment. The packaging of this, it's huge. It's much bigger than a Blu-ray. And so, first off, all the goodies that are in there, that's got to make the average Dalek very happy. By the way, these do not come with the box set. They're just hanging out here because this pleases the Daleks. So on the back of the box, you kind of get a better idea of what's in the box. Not only do you have the movie on Blu-ray and 4K Blu-ray. There's two separate discs, same contents on each, just different resolution. And as someone who has not stepped up to 4K, I definitely appreciate that. So you have the movie plus bonus features and new bonus features created just for this release. So that's a plus. Now, if you previously bought like the Anchor Bay DVD releases of these in the early 2000s, then yes, those bonus features such as the Dalek Mania documentary by the wonderful Kevin John Davies, who is also the director of 30 Years in the TARDIS, still my favorite Doctor Who documentary piece. That is still on there, but there is also new material. They have also replicated the press pack photos of the stars of the movie. There is a lenticular version of the cover artwork from the box. And the reason the box is so big, the soundtrack is included on vinyl. Now, how extra is that? This definitely pleases the Daleks. So let's open her up. Open it up and see what happens, as my oldest says. It's really just taped shut at the top and bottom ends of the box. And I believe I shot this video right before trimming my fingernails and thumbnails, so I made quick work of the security feature, I'll put it that way. No scissors required. The box is really nice, by the way. I have the box back here as a display piece because it's got kind of foil printing highlights on it, and it's neat. So definitely the whole package, this whole package is worth having. We start out here with the lenticular cover artwork. Slightly 3D, not terribly 3D. Make of that what you will. It's there if you want it. It's not going to hurt anything if you're not attached to lenticular pictures. And of course we have the photos here. There's only a few of them. There's not an overwhelming number of photos. And I believe this is probably, on average, what was sent out to the press. Anything else you probably had to make a special request for. The one and the only Mr. Peter Cushing. In, by all accounts, a favorite role of his. I believe that's Jenny Linden and Roy Castle. It's kind of funny because they are reading the TV 21 comics, which usually included the Daleks. Roberta Tovey as Susan, is distinctly younger Susan than we're used to from the TV series. And then I believe that's Barry Ingham, and I forget who the Lady Thal is. Those are the enemies that the Daleks seek to eliminate, because it's basically all a fight over resources. So, beautiful LP of the soundtrack. I actually did not open the soundtrack for this video because I have the soundtracks to both of the Cushing movies on CD that were released by Silva Screen, I'm going to say in 2008 or 2009, somewhere in there. The track list looks very similar, so I'm confident in leaving the vinyl in its shrink wrap. And here we have the discs themselves. On the left, the one with the Dalek, that's the 1080 HD. On the right, with Doctor Who and the TARDIS, that is the 4K disc. And kind of get a look at the special features. I really like the kind of comic book style artwork they chose for this. It not only does that, for one thing, it only has to be approved by everyone once, and then they use the elements of it endlessly. And it has the neat effect of making everything look, if not up to date, as good as possible. Those are the contents of the box, and again, this pleases the Daleks. So really, I mean, a lot of, for what they could have just rolled out there as a 2-disc Blu-ray set, this is a lot of feelies. The photos are printed on pretty decent cardstock, so it's not like glossy photo paper. The packaging, again, just A+ on the packaging. No complaints there. And, as I'm sure you've guessed by now, this pleases the Daleks. The picture quality on the discs themselves is outstanding. It's the best that I have seen these movies look. And yeah, no complaints, no regrets here. It's probably about the third, maybe fourth time I have bought these movies. This feels like, you know, until they have it on the holodeck, or whatever the equivalent of that is, we're in good shape. We're in good shape. Everything you need is in this box. And now I just need two things, and that is a similar box for the other Cushing Doctor Who movie, Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD. And it would be nice, character options, if you're listening. It would be really nice to get a Peter Cushing as Doctor Who figure. I know he may be kind of anathema to those who worry about the show's canon and continuity. However, I should point out that in Stephen Moffat's novelization of Day of the Doctor, a scene that was planned for the show but dropped reveals that the two Doctor Who feature films were basically bankrolled to cover for the number of times Earth had been invaded by actual Daleks. Like, oh, that wasn't an invasion you witnessed. That was a movie being filmed. And apparently this was slated to be included in the 50th anniversary special on TV, except that the studio that now holds the rights to the Peter Cushing movies wanted a ridiculous amount of money just to show the posters for each of the movies in the unit archives, and so the scene was dropped. Some people just can't get out of their own way. That's all I can say there. But these two movies, or at least this one, has never looked better. I definitely want the equivalent treatment for the second movie. And it all adds up to a very nice package. Highly recommended.